It's time now for a look through the press with Deepti Laurent. And Deepti, let's start with reactions to Donald Trump and his about-face on taking Greenland by force.
Well, Donald Trump was, of course, in Davos yesterday for the World Economic Forum, where he addressed world leaders. Now, initially, after reinforcing his claims to annex Greenland, he then ruled out trying to take it by force, and he scrapped additional tariffs that he had previously announced on Europe. Now, confusion reigns today, not least of all from Trump himself, who referred to Greenland several times as Iceland in that speech. And you can kind of see a lot of reactions, a lot of confusion in the press today, a lot of uncertainty. This is from Le Figaro, the French right-wing paper, which says that Donald Trump backs down from using force, but he doesn't back down from actually trying to seize Greenland anyway. Libération, this is a Italian daily, which is quite exasperated. It calls Donald Trump's about-face radical and sudden. It says, the farce is over, but it laments what it calls much hysteria for nothing in the end. Exasperation also from this Danish paper that you see here, which says that now Donald Trump wants to negotiate over Greenland, but the Danish foreign minister, Lars Løkke Rasmussen, has rejected this. The Daily Mirror is a lot more scathing in its front page. It calls Donald Trump daddy fool, calling his speech a delusional rant in which he said that he's loved by European leaders. The paper says that rant was delivered to, quote, an audience of aghast world leaders, while L'Humanité maybe sums it up best with two words, crazy ally, it says on its front page.
And is the US press giving Donald any respect?
Not a lot, it must be said, Oliver. This is from Politico, which has a great headline. Donald Trump's Greenland gambit has broken brains across Washington. You might say it's broken brains across the whole world. The news site explains that this push for the island has irrevocably changed the way foreign policy is done in Washington. As for Europe, it's, quote, clearer than ever that even allies are not safe from Donald Trump's, quote, machinations. There's another very interesting website for opinion piece from MS Now, an American cable news network. Zisham Alim calls Donald Trump's comments head-spinning. He says that the U.S. leader is embracing the madman theory hardball tactics. Now, this is a foreign policy idea that says unpredictability and a willingness to threaten force or use force helps a leader intimidate his foes and achieves his goals. Now, Donald Trump might think he's being, quote, slick, but he's steering the U.S. into dangerous territory. That was one analysis. Now, after Venezuela, that unpredictability from Donald Trump could also impact Cuba, because the Wall Street Journal reports today in this exclusive article here that the Donald Trump administration is allegedly seeking to put an end to the communist regime in Cuba by the end of this year.
And the French paper Libération today looks at new trends in love in France.
Yes, that's right. Libération, perhaps deliberately today, choosing not to focus on Davos and Donald Trump. It's focusing on something completely different. This is the growing trend in France of people having sentimental or romantic, sometimes even sexual relationships with artificial intelligence systems. Around 8% of French people have already had an erotic conversation with an AI bot. And in men under 35, that figure is around 20%. Now, Libération, in its coverage today, warns that what seems, this is the editorial here, the editor says, what seems strange or bizarre today could actually become commonplace in the years to come. After all, if young people use artificial intelligence for their work and pretty much every aspect of their life, why not their romantic lives too? Although it does warn of several adverse effects, and one such effect is actually outlined in one of the stories recounted by Libération here, sex addiction, social isolation, and sentimental dependency as well.
And it's certainly not going to do much for France's falling birth rate either. Finally, Deepthi, you have news of Jamaica's bobsled team, which is going back to the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, that's right. The Jamaican team, Oliver, did qualify for events in 2014 and 2022. But of course, every year is always every qualification is always a miracle. This is, of course, an island tropical nation which never sees snow. In any case, their latest feat reminds us of the mythic film Cool Runnings, which was based on the real life story of the Jamaican bobsled team qualifying in Calgary in 1988 for the Olympics there. To be fair, every qualification is important. This year, the Jamaican bobsled team qualified for the women's monobob, the men's two-man and the men's four-man events. The team is no longer, though, the scrappy fish out of the water team it might have been once, because in fact the Jamaican team won gold last year for the first time in the North American Cup in Whistler. They've never done, though, better than 14th at the Olympics, Oliver, but you also know that you never perform better than when you are underestimated. So you never know what can happen.
And they could certainly teach Donald Trump something about success in the snow.
Indeed.
Thank you very much, Deepthi Laurent.